Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm Dear Darling. Let's see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhallow today. Relaxing as per usual, not quite at the point of whatchamacallit, recording past midnight. So props to Dear Darling's corner. But yes, what am I going to talk about? I don't know, to be honest. We're sort of chilling. Should I do my Uma Musume dailies, I suppose, while we do this? This has changed. Like, I used to do Shiny Garlic dailies while playing Animal Crossing, and now I do Uma Musume. So, good evening, everyone. Right now in Fawnhallow, it's 10:40 PM on Saturday, September 13th, 2025. What should we talk about? I don't know. I don't think there's anything crazy. I did a lot of recording today, so I've got stuff recorded all for next week, which is good. Apart from that, it's sort of just like, I'm chilling otherwise. Well, I mean, obviously I'm doing other stuff, but like, I mean, that's like kind of like the main event. The other stuff's not so interesting, right? You know, cleaning, vacuuming, that's just like standard stuff, isn't it? Well, maybe it's not standard, I don't know. Your mileage may vary. But I don't know why I said that like that. What should I talk about? I don't really know, necessarily. I will say that the Champions Meet tip actually worked very, very well. I did the Champions Meet at a different timing and it worked fantastically. I got my first 5 wins in once, and I got 3 4 wins and a 5 win or something like that. It's crazy. when I did it immediately, I got a 2 win, 3 win, 3 win, I think. So you know, sometimes that's what it's all about. I've also now learned a bit more about the meta of team trials, where I knew it was about wits before and doing skills. I didn't know how much though, but there's actually very specific characters that you should choose because their signature abilities are easier, or their level up abilities are easier to trigger just for higher scores, and then you just have to hope you win. And it's like, okay, interesting. I think the description of a video I saw from a YouTuber I watch who does these strats, they're called like Moo Moo Cow or something, says that Team Trials is essentially a pageant show. You just have to show off as many skills as possible, and that's what you do to win. And I'm like, interesting. So I don't think I'm going to hold grade 6 this season because I'm too busy trying to make a good groundwork, grandparents and parents, you know, to future-proof my front runners for the new meta, which is coming. But it does mean that when I redid all my characters, I think, for Team Trials, I now have to redo them again, now under the new understanding of how Team Trials kind of works. And really it's about just grabbing as many skills to proc as possible, you know? I can't say that it's uninteresting. Well, I mean, if Champions Meet didn't exist, maybe it would be uninteresting. It's just a different style of meta, you know? Anyway, we're not here to talk about Musume all the time. What should we talk about, though? I don't really know. I'm just trying to think. What sort of thing might be fun to talk about? I say in a very sort of vaguish comment, which probably has no or much bearing. Wow, that was just crazy. Is that the highest score I think I've ever gotten? It's not. Wow. I've got 5 wins. But again, the score just wasn't high enough because not enough skills procced. So I've got to do that. How are my friends doing? Ooh. That's pretty good. So yeah, at some point, I will be doing this properly. Getting a proper Team Trials building. Well, it really is because I haven't finished actually building up my team, because I haven't retrained my long, nor did I finish retraining on my medium. Or dirt, I think. I only did sprint a mile, so honestly, I'm not that far into it. Anyway, another point. Let's talk about. I don't know. I need to think of a conversation sort of topic, something which I'm just like, yeah, I'm vibing about. I felt like there was something, but I can't remember what it was now off the top of my head. It's sort of gone completely. I don't know. Let's see what's going on Reddit. I mean, there's always stuff going on the news, but I'm trying to think of something maybe more fun to talk about than some of this stuff. I don't know, what's going on in games? That's what I'm looking for. I always talk about games, you know? Got the same conversations over again. Silk Song Review, a game that intends to make you suffer even to its own detriment. Whoa, scathing. Long run backs. I don't know, is this like, so people were so hyped for it to come out, people love it, and now people are turning on it maybe? I don't know. I'm not here to pass judgment, I haven't even played a game yet, so your mileage may vary, I think. Oh yeah, Pokemon Pokopia. That was kind of a cool thing, which happened. If you didn't see, there was like there was like a Nintendo Direct. You know, we never think our Animal Crossing is ever going to be on it. We're like a very rarely sort of situation, isn't it, of Animal Crossing? But they released Pokopia, which is basically kind of like an Animal Crossing Pokemon sort of game. That's at least what it looks like to me. Not sure necessarily if that's correct, but that's kind of what it looks like. And that's kind of hype. Depending on the level of, I suppose, not customization, but to me it's always about the level of like vibes you can have with your villagers, quote quote, and your Pokemon, quote quote. You know, it would be lovely to be here and see all of my villagers sort of sitting around for the KK Slider concert and just sort of vibing out, you know. That's what makes New Year's such a great Animal Crossing celebration. But, you know, I guess I'm gonna do it with Pokemon. Like, from what I saw in the Pokemon Pokopia trailer, is the fact that it does look like you can have a decent amount of Pokemon like on screen at once, which is kind of what I'm vibing for. That's kind of like what I want to see, you know. I kind of want to see things like I want to see them all sort of about. I want to see that and have a good time. I want to, you know, walk up to my Pokemon friends and be like, yeah, and then I don't know, they're like playing games together or something. Does that make me weird? Probably not. I wouldn't be surprised if that's a surprisingly normal thing, but I don't know. I don't really know what I was going with this, to be honest. It was just sort of like a it's just sort of like, it feels like there's opportunity there, you know? It feels like there's something where there's some meat on that bone, perhaps. What meat on that bone? I don't know. I think part of it must be the rendering issue though, because rendering that many different characters on screen must be a real nightmare from any animator's perspective. How do you resolve that issue? I don't know. As Girl would say, but I don't know. It's just sort of about like vibing out, you know. I think that, I mean, that's kind of like the vibing out which I like, I suppose. Maybe that's the way to put it. Is I'm just trying to think of a way to put it, because again, I think people sometimes assume that me, darling, I super love these chill, relaxed vibing games because of how much I play Animal Crossing, and to a certain extent it's true. But I also do like many other aspects of games, you know, optimization, stuff like that, right? But the parts of like the vibing out, sort of relaxing chill games I like, it tends to be more so, how do I put it? How would I put it? The part of like, it's not simulated socialization, because it's not a replacement of socialization for me, but it's, you know, the interactions, I suppose, are things which would make like a good screensaver. I mean, maybe that's why in Animal Crossing I just sort of sit here this entire time without actually doing or saying anything of particular note. It just is a natural evolution, perhaps, of what I'm aiming for. As I just want to sort of sit here and I just want things to vibe out and have a good time, you know? I want to see my villagers having a good time interacting with each other. Maybe that's the thing to say. Will that ever happen in Animal Crossing? To a certain extent. But there's a slight sadness, I think, with the fact that as Animal Crossing gets bigger, like the island is very, very big. We do get 10 villagers, which is nice, but There's a certain sadness in the fact that we can't have, you know, like, more, you know? It's such a big island, but it feels like such a empty island at the same time. The fact that half the time, you don't see a lot of the other villagers and neighbours about the place. Is that a shame? Yes, I think. What do you do about it? Beats me, beats me. It's just sort of, I don't know. You get what I'm saying with it? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. Maybe I think it's in contrast, I suppose, with these like low-key vibing out sort of games always have a scale of like small town coziness, right? But maybe I don't want a small town coziness. I want, if anything, like a big town vibes. Does that make any sense whatsoever? I don't know. I want a lot of villagers to be out and about. I want it to feel sort of like a bustling community in a sense. But the thing is, there are always, obviously, how would you say, concessions you have to make when it comes to things like that, right? Like, obviously, you cannot model the sense of scale of what a bustling community looks like in real life compared to in a game. You can't, like, a bustling community, what, like 10,000 or so people, is impossible for you, I suppose, in real life to both comprehend and understand in a conceptual scale. But that's all obviously impossible to put into an actual game too. What, you're going to put 10,000 villagers in here? I mean, if I could have all 600 villagers in an absolute metropolis of a city, that'd be awesome, but that's completely unreasonable. Well, at least I would say so. It would be cool though, don't you think? Imagine that, you just, I don't know. I just feel like there's something there, which could be a lot of fun. To just sort of walk around and see all these different villages about the place. You know, you like walk around the corner, you just sort of say hi to all of them. You just wave. You don't have to say hi every single time. You don't have to have a stop and chat and every single time. You can just sort of interact with them. So I don't know why I'm speaking about it so much. I guess the fact that Animal Crossing got no news, it's got me reminiscing. Got me thinking like, oh, what would I have liked to see? And I suppose the answer is something which does not exist. But yeah. I don't know if we will ever see a new Animal Crossing. At least not for like maybe a decade or something. Which honestly kind of feels like a shame, the more I think about it. Maybe that's kind of obviously like a bit of a shame, but I guess you can't lose hope in that sort of thing. I don't mean to make it sound like a very sad, depressing thing, just sort of like a, oh, you know, maybe things could have been different. Like, what would it even been like if we see a new Animal Crossing, huh? I don't know. I guess it's just a contrast between the things, because like my personal taste wants something like a Animal Crossing bustling city. You know, let's go to the city, but like actually going to this, like actually feeling like you're in a city, you know? Having all of those people about to give the impression that, yeah, you know, you're sort of walking around, there's tons of people about. But that, I guess, also simultaneously is a point. It goes against the feeling of having this sort of chilled environment, which is what most other people probably want from this rather low stakes game. of something where it's just like, oh, yeah, you know, things can be chill, things can be relaxed. But to that, you want like a sort of tight-knit community. Is it reasonable? I don't know. I don't know at all. And I don't mean that in a bad way. I'm just sort of speculating, you know, at this point. I'm just trying to also like imagine what that would even, you know, be like. What would it be like to have like, instead of 10 villages on an island, we had like 50 or something? I mean, I think the problem with it is it feels less chill because it's sort of like you can only have a certain amount of connection in real life with only like a certain amount of people, right? There's studies done on it. There's only a certain amount of connections that people can or are willing, I suppose, to build up with. Which means, you know, if you have that many people in how to say, if you have that many people in the actual village, then from like a fictional social, I suppose, connection-based standpoint, you know, you're not going to have that much connection with some of the villagers. Which kind of goes against, I suppose, the ethos of Animal Crossing. Because in reality, even if you're, like, for example, in your, like, school classes back in school days, or if you're still in school, you might have, like, 30 people, 20 to 30 people. You're not best friends with all of them. That's insane. No one can be. But you're probably best friends with, like, maybe one or two. I mean, you're probably, like, great friends with, like, 3 to 5. Good friends with, like, up to, like, another 10 or something. I mean, everyone else might be an acquaintance. Expand that out to the entire school year, and that's perhaps a more accurate reflection. I guess it kind of goes against the ethos of Animal Crossing to be like, oh, you know, we're going to be aiming for you to have a ridiculous amount of friends who can appear in the game, but it's a social web rather than network or something. Like, the point of Animal Crossing is that you're meant to be kind of friends with, like, all the animals, right? All the villagers. So it'd be a bit weird to introduce someone and be like, oh, you're kind of like, oh, that's, you know, I'm trying to think of, that's Eugene or whatever. We're only like, we kind of tolerate Eugene. But at the same time, I feel like most Animal Crossing players probably could pick a top 20 villagers and they'd all have a connection with. I guess it'd be easier if they had more variants of the personalities. You know, I mean, we got like subtypes of personalities in New Horizons, like type A versus type B, but type 1 versus type 2. But wouldn't it be nice, you know, just if we had more variations? What if in the snooty camp you had like 4, and then like they had like invisible sliders behind the scales of like how much they might try and do something, right? I know they have different hobbies and it's meant to be a way to give them a different sort of vibe, but I also wonder what the balance and scales are like for that, because it's hard to notice unless you play every day and quite constantly that like, oh, Flo likes singing as a Uchi villager more than like Fuchsia does. Fuchsia likes gardening or something. I can't remember off the top of my head. That's really hard to like conceive and keep track of, right? Unless it's really pushed to the extreme, like the only time you see Flo is she's singing and the only time you see Fuchsia would be gardening. I don't know, it's now getting to a point of like analysing games again rather than actually talking about this anymore, but I don't know. Relaxing games, relationships or something. I wonder what the perfect amount is. In my mind, I guess I'm more merrier, but maybe not everyone else's. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode up here. I don't know what I spoke about for the past 20 minutes. I just kind of felt like I was speaking. What is it when you just continuously speak without thinking through what you're speaking? It's not like trailer 4 or something. It's like there's an exact expression for it, and I cannot remember what on earth it is off the top of my head. When you just speak. That's gonna bug me now, but whatever. Anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. It's been Animal Crossing New Horizons. I've been dear darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's up farewell. So until next time, bye bye for now.